we might be able to find a little bipartisan agreement if we acknowledge something that both parties at different times have acknowledged, which is that marketplaces of ideas or any other kind of marketplace only function when there are rules and when we abide by those rules.
Who these individuals are, how they're organized, how they're funded, how they're financed. Just because they're decentralized doesn't make them any less threatening.
They'll also provide instructions on how to destroy critical infrastructure, including 5G wireless communications, and how to derail trains.
In the great market of voices, beneath the worn American sun, the merchants of speech once traded freely, word for word, idea for idea. But then came the storms. Bricks through windows, shouts over songs, ideals turned to weapons, and reason scattered like paper in the wind. One senator rose, pointing east and west, saying, "The scales are tilted. The threat now wears a different flag." Scholars argued over numbers, each claiming to see the truth in a cracked mirror. From Portland smoke to the marble halls of power, they spoke of Antifa, ghost or army, belief or brigade. Of networks without faces, of fires without names, of justice wrapped tight in fear. And as the gavel struck, the chamber stilled, the story was not yet done. For in every era, the market of voices reopens, and the question remains, who guards the speech when speech itself draws blood?
It's in every form. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. I want to point out that the CSIS study that's been mentioned here and repeated ad nauseum excluded violence at protests from their study, allowing them to systematically ignore Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots. But they did make an exception for Charlottesville, interestingly. Even using their flawed methodology, CSIS recently reported that left-wing violence in 2025 outpaces right-wing violence. Imagine how much bigger that disparity would be if they actually weren't cooking the books. So without objection, I move to enter into the record an article by Tim Carney explaining CIS's biased methodology. Without objection, will be entered into the record. We'll start with questionings. Mr. Knowles, I want to start with you. You're not going to have any bigger proponent of free speech than me, given especially what I did in my last job and this one. I believe in it wholeheartedly. I think it's the First Amendment is the beating heart of our Constitution. But what we're really talking about here is conduct, of course. Violent conduct. And you've talked about you can't really have this competition in the marketplace if the marketplace is being destroyed and shot up in many instances. How do we get at this problem? What's the road forward in your view?